They fired me. They fired me and said I had too much going on. And that was the reason. That was 12 years ago. That was when I was 30. That was when I had a baby. I had a preschooler. I had a full-time job. I was trying to take care of myself. I was trying to take care of the household. I was working nights and working days, taking care of kids, working nights at my actual job, and trying to keep all the balls in the air. And what I wish would have happened was what I'm doing for you right now, which is giving you a hand up to say, hey, you do have a lot going on, but it's okay. And you can juggle it all. You just have to know what your body needs and how to make it happen so that you can be sharp-minded and remember what you need to remember. That day, I had forgotten my cell phone. I got up in the morning early, took care of my son, got him to preschool, got my daughter handled for the day, naps, bottles, the whole thing, got myself ready for work, which, is not easy when you have a baby. And we were heading to daycare and I realized I forgot my phone. So I dropped her off, went home, got my phone, went back to work, ended up, significantly later than I should have been. Couldn't call because I didn't have the phone. Ran in, hair probably a mess at that point, sweating for sure, bright red because that's how I get when I'm stressed, heart rate through the roof, only to be told, adios. It ended up being one of the best things that ever happened to me, as those things are. But what I've learned since then is that my self-care has to come first. I have to take that extra 30 seconds to take a breath to make sure I have my shit together so that I can take care of and be for everyone else. Unfortunately, back then, I did what most women do, and I just abandoned all the self-care. I abandoned everything I needed. I went through the motions. I went to the gym. I quote unquote ate healthy, but I wasn't really caring for myself. I was pretty much just making sure I didn't die. The way you do a house plant, right? There's like people that love on them and give them all these special things. And then there's people that just give it a little bit of water and hope it doesn't die. That's kind of where I was. I was just giving myself the bare minimum sleep, the bare minimum food, the bare minimum exercise, the bare minimum of time to take a breath, which was 0, because I thought that's what I had to do. And I thought that was part of motherhood. That was part of pursuing a career. That was part of being a woman, is you're just tired and you're just exhausted and you're just stressed. And that's just is what it is. And you've had babies, so your body's not going to look the same. It's not going to act the same. And that just is what it is. Well, that's bullshit. All of it. It is not how it has to be. If you can give your body what it needs, you can do all the things like Superwoman, like a badass, and not feel exhausted and not feel drained. But things change between when you're in your 20s and then when you're in your 30s. Things change physically, biologically, chemically, it all changes. Add on top of that some stress of motherhood, add on top of that a scoop of stress from work, add on top of that maybe self flagellation because you're not being good enough for whatever, good enough spouse, good enough friend, good enough whatever. And we pretty much have beaten ourselves into a pulp by the time that we're like 35. And then we wonder why our bodies don't look or feel like they used to. Why all of a sudden can I not do what I used to do? Can I not eat what I used to eat? It's because things change, and that's okay. You can't abandon yourself. You can't just leave her out there to dry. You got to love on her. You got to love on your body. You got to love on your soul. You got to love on your mind. And it doesn't take any more time, so don't stress about that. What it takes is understanding. You have to understand your body. You have to understand what it needs, what it doesn't need, and how to give it to it. And that's it. That's it. So if you're in that whirlwind, that is motherhood and career and babies and kids and school and all the things, and you're not feeling like yourself anymore, no, you're not alone. There is a way out. This is not forever. And it's not as hard as we're making it. So that's my little pep talk. Don't be me. Don't be the mom that suffered and battled through and then finally figured it out. Be the mom that reaches out and says, hey, I need help. Like, this is not right. I don't feel good. And when that asshole fires you, who has a wife at home taking care of his kids, thank him, because it's probably the best thing that will happen to you too.